Hi friends, Allison here, dropping in to share a new scrapbook layout with you. It is another die cut layout. I did all the die cutting beforehand, but I decided with this layout that I wanted to incorporate some pattern papers in it. I'm using some Jen Hadfield paper from the Avenue. It actually came from a Paper Issues scrapbook kit. I do believe it is probably October's kit, if I'm not mistaken. So I decided with this process video that I would show you some of the adhering, just sticking pieces together as part of this process as well. There's no rhyme or reason to why I'm doing it. I just thought that I would include it this time. So I just showed you some two photo strips that I glued together. I cut those all from Close to My Heart cardstock. There is some retired Close to My Heart pattern paper that was also cut into shapes with my Cricut. And then the only other product that I used to create this layout is some Paper Issues goodies from kits, and also some Pink Fresh, just random stuff that I have in my stash that have been kicking around. And I'm making a really good effort to try and include some of that stuff in my scrapbooking, because I have it, I need to utilize it, right? As much as I love my Cricut, I'm trying to get it used up as well. So I dove into my scrap paper bins and matted my photo to some scrap pattern paper. I'm not sure what collection it comes from, but then decided to jump back into the October Paper Issues kit and pull out some cardstock that was in there. I'm going to have to double check the name of that too. I'm not sure what it is offhand. I added some foam squares to the back of the picture just to create some depth and to bring it off the page a little bit. I also wanted to pop the super cute pine trees. Look how cute it is with that gingham. I couldn't have picked a better paper. Honestly, I think it's my favorite part of this layout. They're just adorable. So that is the retired Close to My Heart pattern paper. I don't know what collection it comes from. It's just some scraps that I had in my stash. I've started using the tip of my scissors to pick up my foam squares, because I have such a hard time with my phony nails picking anything up. They were always getting stuck to the top of my nails, or I was dropping them, or what have you. I've seen other crafters and other YouTube videos using something similar to pick up their foam squares with. And I thought I would give it a whirl, and actually works really well. It's so much easier to pick them up. The little ones, the big ones are not so bad. And get those little ones stuck to the things that I want them stuck to. So I will be using that little hack for the rest of time, because it's perfect. So easy. I decided to pop a sweet little yellow heart into the camera lens down at the bottom of the layout. I wanted to pull some of that yellow further into the layout because I will be adding a sun to the top sort of left-hand corner of the layout, and I just thought that it needed a little bit more. The sun has not been added yet. It will be soon here. I have clouds that I want to adhere as well, and that's what I'm working on right now. I'm just using my liquid adhesive to get them glued together. I'm getting to the end of the bottle, so you're going to be seeing me tapping it on my desk quite a bit just to get the glue to the tip so that I can get it out. I need one of those little holder things that people use to put their glue in when they're not using it. Just to keep everything right at the tip so that it flows smoothly, maybe one of these days. So now I have the clouds adhered to my layout. I just duplicated the clouds portion of the one cut file. The one to the left was the original with the sun, and I just replicated the clouds without the sun so I could spread those across the width of the layout as well. And I think they are super cute. I also decided to pull out my Pink Fresh ephemera. I guess this is Flare, the chipboard Flare. I had a mint colored circle in there that says relax on it, which I thought was perfect to go along with the picture of my daughters on their trampoline, just chilling and enjoying each other's company. If you have more than one child, you know that they don't often get along. And when they do, you need to document it because they actually do like each other. We know their secret, even though they would never admit it. Here I'm just trying to decide if I should add a frame to the photo and what frame I should add to it, just to draw a little bit more attention to the girls on the trampoline. They kind of get lost in the picture because there's so much space around them. I wanted to draw the eye directly to, pardon me, where my girls are. So I'm just playing around with all kinds of frames that I have in my stash. I was checking out the Pink Fresh Studio ones that I had. Those are from My Favorite Story, I believe. And I settled on this black and white stripe one. And then the wood veneer ones that I was just playing with, which also came from actually this month's Paper Issue Scrapbooking Kit. I didn't use the wood veneer one, but I pulled out one of the wood veneer hearts from the kit and used that in the top left-hand corner of that frame just to embellish it a tiny little bit. I did plan on adding a subtitle, which is snapshots. It's actually not even the subtitle, just part of the title. I did have it die cut, but after adhering the main part of the title to the layout with foam squares, the die cut wasn't going to work. It's way too thin. I don't have foam adhesive that would be thin enough to put behind it, so I scrapped it and pulled out some alphas that I had. The alphas that I used are LE Studio, I do believe, and used that instead. It's hard to see in the layout, but it says snapshots, so the title is Picture Perfect Snapshots. And actually in the end, I add a Tim Holtz phrase sticker over top of it too, so it becomes harder once again to kind of read what it says. But I know what it says, and when you actually look at it in person, it's not that hard to figure out what it is. I decided to add some journaling to strips, and I just hand wrote it and then decided to give it a little bit more presence by inking the edges. I used Close to My Heart charcoal ink to do that. And in such small spaces, rather than pulling out my sponge daubers to do that, I just brush it along the ink pad itself and ink them that way. Larger images are a lot nicer. I'm trying to say, when you are doing larger images, using a sponge dauber or the blending tool is a lot nicer and easier to use. So here I pulled out my Tim Holtz phrase stickers. These are the small talk phrase stickers. And I'm using the black and white phrase stickers to draw in more black into the layout because of the black and white frame that I added to the photo. That wasn't actually part of my original design for this layout, but after I added it, I felt like I needed to pull in some more black just to make it look a little more cohesive. So the one sticker in the top left, I just stuck directly to the layout, but the second one that I'm working on right now, I turned into ephemera by just adding it to some cardstock so that I could stick it to the cloud, which has foam squares behind it. I figured that was the easiest way to keep it obviously the same height as the element that it was put on. I also added a white Tim Holtz phrase sticker to the chipboard frame beside, or actually above, the little wood veneer heart. And then I added one more Tim Holtz phrase sticker to the snapshots down at the bottom. So here my plan had been to stamp the date directly to the layout, but I discovered after I stamped it that it actually just blended in with the pattern paper in the background. It totally didn't work. So I had to change my plan and decided to add the date to one of the film strips, photo strips on the left-hand side. Here are my close-ups, my friends. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this layout inspired you, and if you enjoyed my video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and a like, and leave a comment to let me know that you swung by and you visited. I'll be back again soon with a new process video. Thanks guys, bye.